Fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it. There it is.
Tell me your name, where you're from.
Nate Sexton, Eugene, Oregon.
Nice shot, Nate.
Production and distribution of Disc Golf Live is made possible through the generous support of our underwriters. Thanks for your support.
The early hours of the final round of the USDGC are pretty chill. The top cards don't go off the first tee until afternoon, so nothing critical would happen early. We needed some footage for the event staff to post online about a special event taking place on hole 3. Here's the lowdown.
Joe Rattan, tell us what's going on here.
What we got here is a Twisted Flyer $10,000 challenge. 10th anniversary of the USDGC. First opportunity to win $10,000. TwistedFlyer.com, all of its customers, team. Sponsoring it today with the event staff, the USDGC. Plays 389 feet downhill.
We taped only a couple of groups pass through. Guys who were pretty much middle of the pack, 25 or so throws behind the leader. But these guys had made the cut, and each had a shot at a quick 10K for a perfect ace. No skips or tree contact allowed. Our efforts at a showy picture-picture shot were hit and miss, but after taping 200 drives on the hole a few days earlier, a little variety goes a long way. Joe Rattan had his camera running, since any ace had to be on tape. Turns out, our timing couldn't have been any better, as we caught the best run all day.
Metal Man, tell me your name and where you play from. Who's that?
Justin.
Justin Krutzer. Play out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Thanks,
Glad
man.
to be here. Thank you again.
Johnny McRae didn't even need to watch this park job on hole 1. He starts 5 off the lead, tied for 4th. Dave Feldberg eases his drive into drop-in range as well. He sits 8 back. Greg Barsby also started 8 back. Greg got off to a solid front 9 and was 6 under and bogey-free until he posted a snowman on number 10. We scooted ahead to catch these guys again on the 3rd.
Better get in that hole. Go.
Let him in!
Go. Come on. Oh, sit.
Feldberg would go on to make his deuce here. 3 under after 3.
Yes, sir.
Coda Hatfield started in 6th. 6 back. Coda made a nice bid for 10K, but couldn't squeeze out the deuce. And finally, the top card takes center stage. Two-time world champion Nate Doss leads by 3 throws. This one comes in a bit too hot for this fast, sloping green. No one has come out on top after a pressure-packed round here more often than Ken Climo, and he's got 5 championship rings to prove it. He trails by just 3. Avery Jenkins has a ton of titles to his credit, but none as big as this one. He sits 4 behind Nate. There's Paul Macbeth, the 4th player on this card. He and Nate missed their deuce putts, but both Avery and Casey get their rounds off to a fine start. Nate snatched honors back with a birdie on the 2nd and parks hole number 3.
Shot, Nate.
Paul Macbeth birdied the 2nd as well and should be able to make it 2 in a row. He started 5 back.
Hi, Jake.
KC stumbled with a bogey on 2, but he gets things back on track with a typically smooth KC park job here on 3.
Attaboy, champ.
All 4 players would go on to make their birdies as the patrons anticipate a battle for the ring. Nate Doss still has honors on hole 6 when we next encounter the final group. He's 3 under, and that putt should be no trouble. Paul Macbeth birdied 2 of the first 3 holes, but tripped up with a double bogey 7 on number 5. He never really got it back on track after that, carding an even par 68. Talk about your frightening putts. Avery was playing solid golf and erased a bogey on the previous hole with this beauty. He and KC now trail Nate by 5. Avery was back at it on the 7th, while KC was having some trouble. It was an uncharacteristic round for Kenny, who carded 4 bogeys altogether. The 5-time USDGC champion had that many bogeys total through 3 rounds. Great form on this horseshoe-style putt, though. Back on 14, we came across Dean Tannick on his way to a 59 and a 7th place finish. Tying Dean for 7th was Josh Anton, who shot 6 under the final round. Saving his best round for last, Matt Orum's 10 under was good enough to land him in 6th place overall. A quick glance at the scoreboard going into number 14 shows that no one off this card would challenge Nate today. Dave Feldberg had it going nicely at -8 through 10 holes, but he sputtered from there to finish the tourney tied for 3rd at 28 under par. And right on cue, Nate took the tee with honors and launched a beauty.
That's pretty. That's deep. Wow.
And Climo wasn't quite done yet, but he'd go on to finish tied for 3rd at -28. With cameras clicking, Nate notches another birdie. Dakota Hatfield never got it going today, recording his first birdie on the 9th hole and dropping to 17th. Johnny McRae played solid, but not great, carding a -7 and finishing tied for 3rd with Climo and Feldberg. With 3 holes to play, Avery was 7 behind Nate and did all he could, starting with this park job on the 16th. Avery seems to be pretty happy with the way things were turning out. He sneaks his drive onto the 17th green, and it curls to the pin nicely. The only thing that could stop Nate now is a major meltdown on this hole. Nate's been through tight moments before and doesn't let the pressure get to him. With a healthy cushion, just in case he slips up, the tricked out and now even tighter 18th should pose no major problem for Nate Doss. With cameras all over and crowds all along the fairway, Nate seems to be enjoying this hole. Nate dribbled one up to the basket and had this to claim the 08 United States Disc Golf Championship. Well done. Bring on the groupies.
The Professional Disc Golf Association is the governing body for the sport of disc golf. From local tournaments to the amateur and professional world championships, the PDGA oversees sanctioned events for disc golfers of all skill levels. The PDGA is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to promoting disc golf around the world. To learn more about the PDGA, visit www.pdga.com. Get out and play a round of disc golf. The sport of the future is here today.
Now, it's time to get back to Winthrop Gold in the battle for our national championship.
All right, it's Saturday morning here at the championship. We were out taping Wednesday and Thursday. Shot nothing on Friday.
We spent Friday creating custom DVDs for the players from our early round footage. So we turn now to final round action on the 3rd tee as Derek Billings has honors. Derek trailed the leader by 6 starting out this round, and he's coming on strong to start, continuing his solid first-time trip here to the championship. Also starting well is Cale Leviska. A lot of players favor the right side here, since there's no OB to contend with. Taking it straight up the gut is MJ, Michael Johansen. Next comes Dion Arlen.
Second card here, bit of a gallery. The real crowd will be here in a few minutes. Probably about 20-25 minutes when the top card comes through.
The putting didn't go well for anyone in this group except Michael. Derek and Cale doinked their birdie putts, and Dion missed his par save.
We're back on our feature hole number 4 here. Michael Johansen has the tee pad now on the strength of his deuce on number 3.
MJ comes up too short to have a shot at birdie, and Derek Billings gets slapped down by the trees. Cale has finished as high as 12th here in 4 previous trips. He sat in 6th to start the final round today. And Dion Arlen really needs to get it going, sitting at 2 over after 3 holes to start this round.
Should be ideal.
Derek can only get himself into position for a par, and Michael has to do the same. He likes it.
I completely whiffed on Amanda yesterday.
Cale's not much better off, and also looks to secure his par. Dion works a forehand up to the green for a look at birdie. Not getting into a favorable position on the drive means these 3 fellows have only vague chances for a birdie now. No heroics. Everyone gets up and down for par except Dion Arlen, who notches his first birdie of the round. And finally, the top card moves into range. Nate Doss has honors after a birdie-birdie start. Nikko Locastro started well and has improved every round. Dave Feldberg has led since the first round, but lost some momentum in the 3rd round. Phil Arthur has been a bit slow to get it going this afternoon. He sneaks this one in, just inside the OB line. Still nothing happening for Phil. Nikko was edged out by the upstart Blaine Kinkle in the big hair contest, but he still won our Best Socks award. Somehow he's put that out of his mind to concentrate on this putt. The crowd for these finals is as big as these guys are going to see this year. Nate makes it 3 under after 3. And no one can catch Dave if he keeps making birds. Nice.
Alright, chance to watch how the top card plays our featured hole this afternoon here at the 2009 United States Disc Golf Championship. Gallery likes that one.
Dave put up one of those hard-to-follow rollers. We failed.
Nikko Locastro probably still stinging from putt on the last hole. He tends to wear his emotions on his sleeve.
That was a little easier to follow.
All right, you can pretty much fight your way through there if you're lucky and have a shot directly at the hole that leads to the basket.
And for a guy trying to get started, Phil caught a nasty break here. He kind of wanted to see how that would turn out.
He rolls out into the opening. He'll have a look at it. Very nice. Thanks, Jared. Yeah, the crowd shows due respect to that.
As you might expect from the top card at the USDGC, these guys all make short work of their approach shots here on number 4. But putting for birdies was another story. No angst for Nikko this hole, however, as he cashes the only birdie 3 on the card to draw within 3 of Dave Feldberg as the group takes the tee on the 5th.
Here we are through hole 4.
The 5th at Winthrop Gold will test a player from start to finish. It's long and wet with OB on the right as well. Nate has shaved 1 throw off his deficit to Dave and now sits only 2 back in solo second. Dave keeps it safely in the fairway. It takes 3 solid shots here to set up a possible birdie. Phil switches over to his lefty shot, but is still struggling to find some spark in his game today. This angle nicely shows Nikko's footwork. Great hip rotation through his cross step. The second shot here on 5 sets up the all-important 3rd across the water. Nate was the first to try for the green and goes with a big hyzer.
Come on, Webb. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it.
Dave has already put his disc on the green before Phil fires up the crowd. And Nikko should be looking at a routine putt for yet another birdie. Nate's birdie putt puts him 1 throw behind Feldberg, who already whiffed his birdie effort. An OB penalty on his drive netted Phil a par 5. And Nikko's birdie putt pulls him to 2 behind the leader through 5 holes. We next find the lead group starting their inward 9. Phil got it going with a couple of birdies and has the tee, taking the safer route on this dogleg par 4. Dave's stuck at the same score where we left him, 5 holes back. There's a more direct route here, over an out-of-bounds area, made more tantalizing by a rule eliminating OB penalties around the green. While Dave was spinning his wheels, Nikko was putting it on the floor, posting birdies on 6, 7, and 8 to lead by 1 with 9 to play. Nikko's first try didn't quite make the small putting surface, but he fires off his second along the same line. It's about 475 feet to the basket. No problem. Also still where we left him at 27 under is Nate Doss. His first effort here will come up short, and he'll put his second out the safe way. Dave Feldberg for an eagle 2 and the lead, at least for now. Nate is looking at bogey if he can't corral this one. Nice. Nothing too flashy for Phil, just a solid birdie 3. 1 miss, 1 park job, 1 putt. Birdie 3 for Nikko. So through 10 holes, Nikko is 7 under on the day and tied with Dave at 30 under par. Dave is 4 under so far.
Birdie with that chunky first shot, that's crazy.
Feldberg trailed by 2 throws after 8 holes, but snapped back into form with a birdie and an eagle. Nate and Phil trail by 3 and 4, respectively. All 4 got off the tee safely here today, but it's the second shot here which sets up a birdie opportunity.
Come on, baby, work now. There it comes.
Sometimes everyone, including the players, have to wait for the word from downrange.
Yeah, Nate. Smooth.
Nikko gets the good word from the spotter. Dave's walk-through putt comes up short. No bird for Nate. But the kid from Missouri takes the lead once again. Birdie also for Phil, who remains 4 back.
Second card being adjusted after the 11th hole.
The top few groups came with their own standard bearer, so we could keep up with some of the scoring while hiking all over to catch different groups. Off the second card, the man of the day was Kale Leviska, who was on his way to a nice 10 under par, 58. He was wholly uncooperative for the camera, however, refusing to make a birdie on any of the holes we captured. There were 2 hot rounds underway on the third card. Paul Ulibarri would eagle this par 5 on his way to a -9 round. UC Maresma would pick up a birdie here en route to a 60.
Roller from Josh. Looks like a beauty. Maybe a little deep.
But the undercard story of the day was Josh Anton, who came out smoking with 9 straight birds to start. After a par and another birdie, he eagled the 12th to sit at 12 under through 12. Josh reeled off 4 more birds to sit at -16 through 16. He suffered a bogey on the 17th and parred the 18th for -15, 53, and a new course record. More importantly, Josh posted a final score of -31 to pressure the boys on the top card. Not too shabby for a guy whose tourney started on the most sour of notes. As Josh finished and posted his number, the lead card was still out on the course, and we caught their drives on the par 5 12th. Phil parlayed this crush into an eagle 3.
That is one. I'm following.
Nikko knows a great shot when he sees one. A wee bit of trouble for our leader. Dave is still hanging around, 1 behind Nikko. After a hot start, Nate had cooled considerably. He'll end up OB here and take a bogey 6. Nikko's got a testy lie, but he manages a fine shot nonetheless. He'll make birdie 4. Here's Phil setting up his eagle 3. Next, we see Dave Feldberg crossing over to the basket area on the legendary 13th hole, called 888, to leave himself with a putt at a par. But putting woes gripped all 4 players here on this flat playing surface. First Nate, then Phil missed birdie putts, then it was Nikko's turn. Finally, Feldberg with a putt he needs to stay only 1 off the pace. He pulled it right and finds himself 2 down with 5 to play. Nate Doss sat pretty much out of the title hunt, but puts up the best drive of the group on the 14th, and the growing crowd shows its appreciation. If Dave Feldberg needed a good break, he didn't get one here. This birdie bid just misses. Phil comes up a bit short. He's running out of holes too. Nikko comes up short. And Nate for birdie, but it's probably too little, too late. We skipped ahead to catch card 2 on number 16. Dion Arlen providing the putting highlight.
Every putt at this point means a lot of money.
We knew Josh Anton was in with a -31, with only 2 groups left on the course.
Looks like Kale's made up some ground. We're on 16 again. Nikko has regained the tee pad. That's got to be good news for his championship hopes.
Seeing Nikko take the tee, we knew his lead was intact. He'd taken a birdie 3 on the previous hole and had moved to -33. David matched Nikko's birdie on 15, but still trailed by a pair.
Serendipitous.
Nate still had some show in him, despite being out of the title hunt.
Out over the crowd.
Phil bogeyed the previous hole to fall further back, but still finds his own way to energize the crowd. With Nikko in close, Dave needs this to avoid falling 3 behind. And with this tap in, Nikko carries a 3-throw advantage into the final 2 holes.
Nikko has a nice little cushion. He just needs to put his first one in play here. To number 17. Ooh, barring something on 18, the man has it in the bag. First trip down here a few years ago, Nikko missed the cut. Sat with him as the tournament was ending, and he talked with his family about how he could win this tournament. And sure enough, a few years later, he'll be about to make a call home saying he's got it done. Hey, Feldberg, it doesn't get prettier than that. Now going in. Oh, that would be a little better, though. Oh, very appreciative crowd here.
There's no give up in any of these guys. Besides, every throw means big bucks in the payout department. Nobody's perfect. Nikko will carry a 2-throw lead into number 18. A horde of fans are in position to cheer on the final group at the final hole of the 2009 USDGC. Nate Doss would go on to par this hole for a final round 6 under 62 and a 4th place finish. Dave Feldberg sits at 32 under, 2 throws behind Nikko, but only 1 ahead of Josh Anton, who finished out long ago. This one would triple OB for Phil Arthur and lead to a double bogey 6 and -4 for the day. That dropped him into 6th place overall. Nikko took care to keep himself in bounds and rule out any last-minute disaster. A par 4 here will finish out an 11 under final round, enough for a 2-throw margin of victory. Dave's putter has let him down a bit this round. And this downhill putt towards the water will make a lagger out of anyone. He needs this to stay in solo second place. Clutch. For a disc golfer, it doesn't get any better than this. Well done, Nikko. Thanks for watching our coverage of the 2009 United States Disc Golf Championship.